Hello, everyone. I'm Mariquita Solis of Climate Healers, and we're talking today with Meryl Fury, the president and CEO of Plant-Based Nutrition Movement. Meryl is going to be one of our speakers for VCOP 22, Thriving on Planet B. So the dates are July 26th and 27th, so make sure you put that on the calendar. Now, if you're not able to join all the sessions, that's fine because it is recorded, be on YouTube. And also, we really encourage you to go ahead and register early. So there is a, we just need to get people registered early. And I think there will be a little charge if you register after a certain date. So make sure you do that. And today, I just wanted to have a little chat with Meryl to get to know her better and to see what's behind. I mean, Meryl's her passion for her work. So welcome, Meryl. Thanks for joining us.
Well, thank you. I'm so glad to be here. What a great opportunity. So excited for this.
I'm excited too because VCOPs are very inspirational and the passion behind it, behind the VCOPs, which is Vegan Convergence of the People for Climate Healers, is outstanding. We work very hard on making these events. So many of our team diligently working behind the scenes on the tech and the little interviews that we do. And then the day of it, wow, the days of it, like I said, July 26th and 27th. So we're excited. We find the best speakers and we're excited to have you come on board. And today I wanted to find out a little bit more about your passion and tell us about what you do, Meryl.
Well, if I go back a few years, right, I'm a registered nurse. I have my master's in nursing, and I spent 30 some years in public health. So looking at populations, that's what public health is about, looking at large populations of people and seeing what are the common threads that either keep them ill a lot of the time or what supports their health also, right? It's through public health that we look at what we call the social determinants of health. And these are the things that help people, like I said, stay well or conversely don't. So it can be things like education, the area they live in, the condition of the planet, the condition of their neighborhood, the quality of their water, right? And then there are things like social determinants of health, where it's actually more the interaction of people. So do you have people around you that are supportive? How are your family relationships constructed? There's some other things too. Political determinants of health. Is the political condition in your area oppressing you or causing more problems? There are commercial determinants of health. What's available in your community as far as like the food, things that you would have to purchase, the quality of the clothing, the quality of things like this. So, excuse me, as a public health nurse, I tend to look at all that. I no longer actually do direct patient care nursing. I lead this nonprofit called Plant-Based Nutrition Movement, which is located, technically, it's an Illinois 501c3, but with the internet, we go anywhere and we're online a lot. So I get to work with people and mostly children now, teaching them about how to stay healthy and what to avoid, what to incorporate in a daily routine that would support their health and growth and development and help them thrive as adults. So that's what I do. Very exciting work. Keeps me going, that's for sure.
Right. That is very exciting because I feel like in my own family, I just worry about my nephews not getting enough nutrition. And I mean, they're eating the standard American diet, I think. I mean, to an elevated level. I really don't see any fruits or vegetables incorporated in their diet, and it's frightening. I mean, how does that affect them?
Wow, Mariquita. So sadly, that's not unusual in this country. right? That's typical. It's to the point now where if the child is living off of pepperoni pizza, chicken nuggets, French fries, donuts, and Skittles, that's considered normal, right? And the
Right.
child who is getting fed apples and broccoli and, oh gosh, forbid you're giving them salads every day, or, beans and rice and things like that, that's considered bizarre, right? That's the where it's come to. So for kids to have any access to fruit and vegetables is not the norm. Unfortunately, that puts our children at a very different type and spin on malnutrition. If you're feeding your children highly processed food, animal-centric diet, lots of dyes and artificial flavors and texturizers and preservatives and things like that, the body doesn't know what to do with those. Those are not chemicals or combinations the body can actually use. The body tends to store them in fat, and it can actually cause the body to generate fat. Those are called obesogenic type foods. And the truth of it is, children need the fruits and vegetables and naturally occurring chemicals that are inherent in those foods. Partly, so this is an interesting thing. Of course, we need vitamins and we need minerals and we need some natural, some healthy fats, and we need protein. But people don't often think about that we also need the phytonutrients that are not actually defined yet. We need fiber. We need all these things that actually only occur in plants. And those things help our bodies to create neurotransmitters. And the neurotransmitters are what allow our brains to function. Also, the fiber feeds our immune system. So if we don't provide these things for the children, we're putting them, like I said, in this whole different, can I say, universe of malnutrition. They don't have the basic building blocks that they need that we don't actually recognize as important, but they don't have those building blocks. And then we expect them to sit in a classroom and pay attention and not act out and be able to focus and be able to do all the tasks and all of the things. And it's very hard. It makes we're setting them up for failure in a way by doing it that way.
Yeah, well, I can see that how it plays out in my own family, and it's very disturbing to me. When you talk to the kids, Meryl, um, how do you reach them? What makes sense to them about food and health?
Yeah, that's such a great question. So we do have the chance to go into schools or after school programs, day camps, summer camp type settings, sometimes faith-based organizations, and speak with children and give them experience of whole foods. We either do cold prep foods or we bring in hot foods in an instant pot type thing, salad bars, things like that. Very often, the children at first are scared. They don't eat food like that. I don't eat green things. I know I don't like broccoli. I never had zucchini. I don't like, they're very used to ultra processed, cheap, quick, easy, tasty, lab created type foods. But we work with them and we give them these opportunities, and it takes repeated visits and encouragement. We encourage them to be brave and to explore. And it's okay if you don't want to eat it, just try it, just test it. Okay, you don't want to test it. Okay, smell it. Oh, you don't like it. Okay, throw it away. No problem. What engages them most is to hear about how what they do, the foods they choose to eat, impact other animals or the planet. They do not care about, like, if I go in and I say, well, I'm a nurse and I can tell you that these foods can give you a heart attack when you're 45. They don't, that makes no difference at all. It's like, I'm not 45 and I'm a child and I'm invincible, right?
Yeah.
But if we talk to them about, when you eat hamburgers, those come from cows. You know, cows, everybody loves cows, but what's not to like about a cow or a calf, right? And we talk about how the cows are raised. We talk about where they're raised. We talk about how clearing land for pasture and what that does to the planet. And we're not heavy-handed about it because it can be very scary for children or upsetting. But that's what makes the difference. So it's such that if we have the chance to speak with them more than let's say a half a dozen times, very often, more than we ever expect, the children will come back and say, I like vegetables, I like fruits, and I don't have to eat animals anymore. I don't want to. And
That's
that's what makes it.
amazing.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
is amazing. And what age group do you speak to?
Well, our sweet spot is probably around fourth grade. They're, excuse me, old enough to have had some life experience, right? They're old enough to know what they eat every day at home. And they're old enough to be able to feel empowered if you give them a little bit of information. They're willing to test out new things. They can feel themselves still changing and growing. They're willing to explore a little bit, be a little bit adventurous. So fourth, fifth grade is really a great place. Now, I think anywhere in childhood is wonderful. If you can get a kid started eating this way when they're 1 year old, it's not a problem then. It's just normal. It's just what happens. And certainly in high school, it's also valuable. It's just probably a little bit playful, a little bit
Mhm.
fun, play games when they're fourth, fifth grade.
Yeah, that's nice. So when you had children, were they raised on a vegan diet or a plant-based diet?
Well, sadly, no, I did not. Um, I have two biological children and one glorious bonus daughter. Love her to pieces, love them all to pieces. But I have to say, there's something very different about having a daughter, and really different if you didn't have uh, all the baggage that comes with delivering a child and having to raise them through the rough parts. So, uh, our bonus daughter was already 16 or so when she came to live with us. So a lot of the tough stuff was over. She's great. So no, they were not raised vegan. They were raised very typically standard American stuff, except that I always leaned toward vegetables. I've been plant-based, predominantly plant-based since I was 15. So there's always vegetables, there's always salad, there's always, and the odd vegetables. We're gonna have beets, we're having artichokes, we're having, whatever the unusual stuff. Queen Anne's lace in the salad today, whatever the thing is, right? Um, so it took them, they were always exposed to it. Our daughter, when she came to us, she was very used to a highly processed, extremely limited diet. And all of them now are grown. They all eat vegetables. They all see the value. The two younger ones are actually pretty close to the same age. They're about coming up on 25 now. Uh, they are plant-based now as adults. My daughter is vegetarian with lots of plants, not heavy. I mean, she's still doing cheese and dairy things. And my son is predominantly plant-based. He'll only eat animal products if he goes over somebody's house and that's what they're cooking. He is not to the point where he'll hold the line like that. Yeah.
Well, that's very good because I mean that they've been educated more so than most children.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
definitely
And the two
good.
younger ones, I guess what I started to say is the two younger ones are very athletic. My son is like bodybuilding and weightlifting and things like that. And our daughter is Brazilian jiu-jitsu, judo, and crewing. She's so they find that eating more plants and keeping the animal products out of the diet as much as possible facilitates their physical stamina and their athletics.
Wonderful. Yeah. So they definitely have been opened up more so than other, to more education, nutritional education than, other kids. I hope you can't hear that phone ringing.
No, we cannot. But now you are on mute. I can't hear you.
Yes. Okay. So definitely, I want everyone to, we'll continue the conversation with Meryl, and get to know more about her work at VCOP 22. So this has been very interesting learning about the children, and your own children and the children that you work with, and not necessarily caring about their own health, but that the path would be to speak about the planet and animals, which is very important for us as we speak to people, because we're always seeing where there might be an opening. So this is very helpful. I'm very glad you told me about that because
Right.
I do have connections sometimes with children at church. So going down that route is what I will be doing from now on. So
Yeah.
yeah, so well, thank you for this, Meryl, and I want to encourage everyone to come to VCOP 22, Thriving on Planet B, July 26th and 27th. And when are you speaking, Meryl?
I will be speaking on the 26th, which is Saturday at 7 p.m. Eastern Time.
All right. Now, like I said before, everybody register for VCOP 22 ahead of time and make sure you join Meryl for her presentation because we really need to know about outreach to children. Children's nutrition is so important and how it impacts the planet. All right. Well, we'll see everyone there. Thank you so much, Meryl, for this lovely conversation.
Yeah, my pleasure. Thank you. It's great to see you again. Great to be with you.
Bye, everyone.